Alright, here finishing up lunch break. In the words of Ricky Bobby, the always delicious Taco Bell. Getting ready to run back in to the shop at work. I'm still on my lunch break. Gonna try and get these calipers sandblasted. I'm gonna leave them together, sandblast them, then probably pull them apart. So that way I'm not sandblasting, excuse me, not sandblasting inside the pistons. Then as well as I put little caps, little block off caps to plug the like the holes for where the brake lines go in. So just going to go work on those now and hopefully tear them apart later tonight, or maybe even here if I got enough time on lunch break, but probably not. Just hurry up and get these calipers sandblasted, and that way I can tear them apart later. So here we go. Pt.2 blasted calipers. Right in the shot. Alright, today's project is going to be get this stuff moved out of the way, get my workbench up here to be able to do a little bit more up here in front of the lift and be a little bit more user friendly, because I don't have any workbench right now. It's all over there covered in stuff, so we're going to dig it out, get it over here, and be able to do some better shots and film a lot more on top of the workbench. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to do like a time lapse of kind of moving stuff around, and you'll get an idea of all the junk that I have amassed in here, and going to try and get that all cleaned out and organized a little better. So this workbench isn't real great. I don't want to keep it up here forever. It's kind of chintzy. It was here in the garage when I got the place, so but it's going to work for now, and let's get started. Well, today was very accomplishing. I got my workbench moved over here, got my light hung up, made a little bit of room to get the laser moved over some with having the workbench over here now, but literally I'm probably 4 foot away from the lift now, so I can just pull stuff right off, set it on the workbench, work on stuff that I need to. Next thing will be, for the time being, I don't want to, but there's enough life left in these pads. I'm going to pull them off. Like the anti-rattle clips back in here are kind of falling off, but go through those, pull them off, maybe hit the pads on some sandpaper for now. I'm going to pull the rotors off and take them into work and give them a quick turn, and just for the time being put it back together right like that. Pads aren't exactly hard for me to get a hold of, but right now I just quite can't afford them, to be honest. So just trying to do everything as cheap as I can. Then after I do that, that'll probably be my a little bit later tomorrow video after work. Pull the rear calipers off, because the rear caliper is actually what's hanging up on, kind of holding the car, dragging along. Pull those off, get these prepped and ready to go back on. I won't really have to push the pistons back in. I may just to check and see if they're not binding up, but shouldn't have to actually push them all the way back in. Do that, reassemble the front brakes, go through the backs, maybe do the same thing, sandblast the calipers, turn the rotors real quick, just to get it stopping, try and get it taken around the block. And then hopefully by that time I'll actually have some pads, pull the calipers back off, clean them up, and degrease them really well, and actually paint them. Right now the main focus is just to get it movable, and maybe do some quick short adventures, maybe like 50-60 mile trip in it, just exactly how it is, just to show that you can, you know, take a little bit of effort, go through some stuff, get it running, and have an awesome car that, you know, granted I say I got pretty lucky on finding it for the price that I did, just because I don't have a huge budget to work with, but it'll be really cool to see the experience, in my opinion, to kind of put it together cheap, get it out and about, and go have some adventures with it and see what people's reactions are and stuff. I think it'll be really fun. I kind of wanted to go over everything that I've done to the car so far. I believe I may have, but in case it's your first time tuning in, I bought the car, it wasn't running, did a little bit of diagnosing, pulled the fuel pump out of it, realized that the inside of the tank and the fuel pump, the whole entire fuel system was just destroyed pretty much. So I got a fuel tank, new fuel sending unit with for the level on the gauge, new fuel pump. The fuel pump came with it. It was supposed to be good, but it was locked up, so I ended up buying a new stock replacement. Cleaned the fuel lines out from the tank to the up to the fuel filter, and then on the return just cleaned those out, ran some acetone through them a couple times and blew them out. New fuel filter, pulled the fuel rails off, did the same, cleaned them with brake clean and acetone. Put stock size, they're RC 550 injectors, which stock size injectors are 550s, but so they're not upgraded, just an aftermarket brand. Put an intake gasket, different upper, the middle gasket in between the upper plenum and the lower, because I had to pull that off to get to the injectors on it. I am probably going to pull a lot of the stock emissions vacuum stuff off it, just to keep from having issues with the vacuum leaks and anything on that nature, keeping it to be able to idle and have drivability. So as of right now, I got my price list going. I am pretty sure that I'm under $1,000 in the car and on everything that I've done so far, including the injectors, fuel tank, fuel pump, hanger, everything. New battery, the wing, the spoiler that's on it, even including that, which I think was half the cost of the entire car. So around $1,000 I'd have to add it up for sure. Maybe I'll do that, make a list of exactly what I have in it right now. The next biggest thing after I get it running is the sunroof, just because it is leaking and I don't want it, because I know it's going to be sitting outside and I'd like to drive it back and forth to work, so I don't want to have it leak in and destroy the interior. But yeah, so I guess it's get it running and drive it on a budget and have some fun with it and some adventures, and then eventually get it ready to repaint and treat the underside really nice. I do have to make an exhaust, or at very bare minimum get 2 mufflers on it, so we'll see what I decide to do. It may be cheaper just to make my own exhaust for the amount that it costs to buy an exhaust pipe. How much were these? Yeah, 20-30 bucks, somewhere around there, for 4-foot stick of 3-inch stainless pipe from Summit. Literally, you could buy, heck, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these should make a car if you're doing just a single exit. Probably do a 2.5-inch downpipe, because I know that the flange is kind of funny shaped on these. Make a flange, take the stock flange on the downpipe, make a flange, maybe start 2.5 and then neck it up to 3-inch, go 3-inch all the way back. Do some pie cut work, which I really like to do. Do some pie cut welding, get it out the back, and then run a decent muffler. I think vibrant muffler, I can, you can get them from Summit 80 bucks, and a tip for 20 bucks. So $200-300 bucks and an entire handmade exhaust system. So that'll definitely be on the list to get done. But I guess I'll quit rambling, and that'll pretty much conclude tonight's video. Tomorrow I'll work on some brakes, get the rear brakes pulled off, and we'll go from there. But thanks for watching.